A very good day to Mr. Salman as our Computer Fundamentals lecturer, my beloved classmates, and the supervisors in charge for this project, the Industrial Revolution 4.0 or IR 4.0. Based on what we have to do is we have to choose a topic and create a presentation out of it. Based on the 9 pillars of IR 4.0, we chose Internet of Things, IoT, specifically in the automotive industry. The presenters today will be myself, Amish, and my partner, Paalani. In these slides, we will cover mostly on, firstly, the introduction to IoT. What is IoT and how does IoT operate? Secondly, the applications of IoT in the automotive industry. How is IoT applied to this industry? Moving on to the importance of IoT. Why is IoT important in general? And finally, the pros and cons, or the advantages and disadvantages of IoT in general. Firstly, a very common topic. What is IoT? Internet of Things, or simply IoT, is a system of interconnecting computing devices capable of transmitting or exchanging data over the internet using embedded systems such as sensors, hardware, and software. But how does IoT operate? Let me give you a brief step of how IoT actually operates. There are 4 main steps, and everything starts by sensors. Sensors will sense the changes in the surroundings and collect the data, which then will be sent to the cloud by connectivity methods such as local area network LAN or even personal area network PAN. Moving on to the connectivity phase. This connectivity phase actually takes control over the entire IoT system. And here we could choose the most suitable connectivity part, such as Wi-Fi, LTE, and even 5G. Last but not least is the data processing step. Data processing actually takes place when all the data is transmitted to the specified platform and functions are performed on the data. And finally is the user interface step. User interface actually gives the output that can be seen by users on the screen. It is also sometimes known as graphical user interface, or in short, GUI in smartphones. UI and GUI are the same thing with the same functions. Moving on, the main element of the slide, which will be the applications of IoT in the automotive industry. We have given 3 applications here, but there are many more, but we felt that these 3 applications are the major ones. Firstly, we have autonomous driving vehicles or self-driving vehicles. Next is fleet management, and finally, in-vehicle infotainment system. Firstly, autonomous driving vehicles, a very popular topic among everyone, especially car manufacturers and also car companies. As we might have heard, this idea was popularly known from Tesla, which developed a working product of self-driving cars. And this idea was initially developed by Elon Musk, the co-founder of Tesla. After that, every car company or most car companies have been trying to chase or catch up to this trend of supplying and manufacturing more and more autonomous driving vehicles. But on the other hand, many companies are actually working on semi-autonomous driving vehicles, which means half of your system or 50% of the entire system of the car will be relying on the presence of IoT. This feature, which was developed using the presence of IoT, as we know, is beneficial in a lot of ways. Firstly, it helps reduce road collisions and also decrease the load of drivers. Why do I say so? Because when IoT takes control of more than half of the car system, it means drivers will no longer need to pay full attention to their driving. But since there is a good thing, there will surely be a bad thing. In this case, on the bad side, if this is implemented, especially in Malaysia or even worldwide, Researchers have shown that in 10 years' time, autonomous driving vehicles might be implemented in Malaysia, which means many jobs, especially in the e-hailing sector, will be affected, which means e-hailing companies will no longer need humans or employees to drive the vehicles because everything will be relied on computer, which means that the rate of unemployment will increase subsequently. Next, very popular topic too, which is in-vehicle infotainment system. As we know, this is mostly available in every modern day vehicle in the front row, and for those higher end luxury vehicles, this is also installed in the passenger row or the back row. As we might have heard, there are two main infotainment systems commonly used nowadays. Firstly, which is Google Maps, which is for navigation purposes, and also Apple CarPlay, which is for higher end infotainment. But that's not the case nowadays. Apple CarPlay is also installed in not so expensive cars, especially for the convenience of iOS users. To give a scenario, if an iPhone user has a car that supports Apple CarPlay, he or she is able to do numerous things from answering phone calls, replying to text messages, and also listening to music from platforms such as Spotify without taking their hands off the wheels. This is a very good thing, especially for working people, which means they do not need to park their car at the corner of the road just to reply to a text message or maybe even a phone call. Everything could be done when they are driving, which means the convenience rate will increase. We could see this video here. It shows a Tesla, which is actually relying completely on the self-driving autonomous driving vehicle system prior to our last application. And if you could see, there is a medium-sized screen there, which actually shows the exact route of the car traveling until final destination. And this is the example of the in-vehicle infotainment system. Nextly is fleet management, and I will pass this to Paalani. Paalani, you may proceed.
Thank you, Amish. Next, we'll be seeing fleet management. Fleet management is another IoT application applied into a large number of vehicles and can be said to be an administration of commercial motor vehicles such as trucks, vans, cars, forklifts, and trailers. On the other hand, private vehicles used for work-related activities, aviation machinery such as planes, ships, rail cars, and other machinery that isn't powered by its own engine are also examples of fleet management vehicles. Most importantly, fleet management is a feature that enables companies whose business depends on transportation to eliminate or minimize risks associated with vehicle investments and improve efficiency and productivity while reducing overall transportation and labor costs.
Next, a very popular question among users, which is, why is IoT important? Let's look at it. Firstly, it enhances the safety. Why do I say so? IoT actually helps monitor and give alerts about threats and hazards. For example, those working in the oil and gas industry, especially in the oil rigs, use this to detect gas leaks, fire, and other forms of emergency. As we might know, those working in oil rigs are facing a very high risk, and IoT actually helps by taking care of the safety measures. Secondly, data insights. How does IoT help with data insights? Let's see. IoT is responsible to generate large amounts of data, for example, analyzing market trends and business operations in the business field. Why? Meanwhile, in the medical field, it helps monitor patients' heart rate and other similar features. I'll be passing on to Paalani. Paalani, you may proceed.
Thirdly, it is cost saving. Cost saving is a major key of IoT. For example, in buildings, IoT can help by reducing the energy consumption. Not only that, IoT reduces cost by prioritizing and reducing the impact of productivity congestion by offering process optimization and analysis as well as conditional analysis to make sure human and machine work in perfect harmony. Lastly, connectivity. With the help of IoT, we are able to share data and communicate with others. By doing this, the efficiency of many types of processes could be enhanced. Let us look at the advantages of IoT. First, it helps it, it helps to improve security. If we have an interconnected system, it can assist in the smarter control of homes and cities through mobile phones. It enhances security and offers personal protection. Next, it can be improved in decision making. This is very usual, especially for those business owners, by providing them with real time data and analytics. As we all know, when there's something called advantage, there's also something called disadvantages. So we'll be looking at it now. Firstly, privacy concerns. As we are aware, IoT devices are able to collect data and share them without the consent of an individual. By doing this, there would be surely by surely be some privacy concerns and ethical issues. Next, the level of complexity. IoT systems are sometimes complex and can be quite challenging to manage. With this, a specialized knowledge in this field is very much needed.
Thank you, Paalani, for speaking on the importance and also advantages and disadvantages of IoT in general. So let's look. There is a light bulb showing, which means that there is a fun fact that needs to be known by every single one of us. Let's look at it. Okay, it's saying that according to a study, it is potential for computers to replace at least 85 million jobs by the year 2025. Let's look at it. We are in the year 2023, which means in 2 years' time, 85 million jobs, which is equivalent to roughly 85 million people losing their jobs to IoT, which means that from the slides and the information, it is safe to conclude that we need to have a vast knowledge of computers and their operations in order to survive in the next generation world. If we do not want to learn about computers or have very little knowledge about them, we are planning to be taken over by computers in the future. Therefore, let's all learn computer for the sake of our future. That's all from us from the slides. Thank you.
Thank you.
But before leaving, we would like to present to you a short video showing the applications of IoT in the automotive industry and how it was like before IoT influenced the automotive industry. We hope you guys enjoy the video. Thank you. Before the vast usage of IoT in the automotive industry, drivers manually park. With IoT in the picture, computers take control of parking. For example, this driver is relying on Tesla's autonomous parking assist to park his car. Before IoT was used vastly in the automotive industry, we had to use manual buttons to operate our air conditioning system in a car. With IoT, things just keep on getting better. Just take a look at this Range Rover's digitalized infotainment system, which controls the air conditioning system of the car and several other fascinating features. London is known to be one of the cities with the most congested traffic recorded compared to other big cities in this whole world. But with one of the applications using IoT called Fleet Management System, roads are more organized. Let's just take a look at this video. If IoT is implemented vastly around the automotive industry, this is how cars will look like in the future, where computers will control 100% of the cars using artificial intelligence and, of course, Internet of Things IoT.